Hello, hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Cameras are off, but audio is on because we are testing the audio. Samson?
Hello, everybody. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Please let us know if you can hear us reasonably well. Our microphone is currently dangling above us, which is new for us, and I don't know if the extra distance is affecting the audio quality or not. So any feedback you can give us on that front would be much appreciated. Switch over. Hello! I'm looking at this camera now instead of the camera that was over here. So, Sophia and Andrew are running a little bit behind. The weather has decided that it's going to turn this morning. Actually, I guess it's been raining since last night, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's raining, and as a result, the
I think it was the
is that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
so.
The background music made a sound effect that I was not expecting, so it threw me off. And so yeah, as a result of the rain, they're running a little bit behind. So it's just Samson and I for the moment, but we are testing the new camera setups and stream or audio stuff and everything like that. Kellen, hello. Hi, thank you for joining us. I know you're probably hanging out over at Viper's channel for the moment, but hopefully you'll be able to come over here and join us when she's done. So, let's do a mini geek out.
All right, cool.
Game of Thrones, no spoilers, but premieres tonight.
Yeah.
We both had some pretty strong feelings about it when we did our last geek out on Monday.
Yeah.
Predictions?
I mean, the only solid prediction, the only bankable prediction is it's going to be disappointing. That's
okay.
I mean, I don't see how they wrap everything up solidly in a satisfying way for everybody. I mean,
yeah.
Regardless, that somebody's going to be mad about it. So
I can agree with that. I was watching, or I was talking to a friend of mine at work who watches, and I realized that one of the things about it that, again, not even as a huge fan of the show or the story in general, one of the things that really bugs me about it is the fact that they've set up a new villain one episode before the series ends.
Yeah.
It's like there's emotional investment from the perspective of people who've been following this character for a long time, and to have them turn like this is kind of jarring for them, and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But from the perspective of now there's this new villain, there's no...
Yeah, you're not getting any closure there.
Yeah, there's not going to be any drama to it.
And I'm thinking, honestly, the only thing they really can do is, dig into that villainy and, there's going to be a body count. It's going to be all her doing it.
That's
the only thing I can think of them doing, really. I mean...
But there's such minimal establishment of a motivation there. Like, yeah, she wants to rule Westeros. We've known that forever.
Right.
I was trying to talk it in circles around it, but I think that's kind of futile at this point. But there's and we talked a little bit on Monday about the paranoia setting in and the fact that she's gone that direction, but it still seems like it's fairly one-dimensional craziness.
Yeah, I mean.
Sorry, hold on. Kellen says, I'm currently trying not to be eaten by a terror bird in Ark, waiting for my friend to come save me. Oh, no problem. Yeah, focus on not getting eaten by the terror bird. It's not good if our viewers get devoured. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I was joking. We were talking earlier, and I was joking. Somebody's gonna wake up and say it's all a dream. I don't know how they save the show. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I think this music might have gotten a little bit louder. So let's turn that down. Another thing to geek out, or to talk about from a geek perspective, the new Batman casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you all have heard this, but apparently Robert Pattinson has been cast as the new Batman.
Well, it's not 100% final yet, from what I understand, reading into it, but it is pretty much going to happen. It's just contracts need to be signed. It's kind of funny. I saw on Instagram a lot of DC artists, the pencilers and people who work in the industry and comics, have been kind of defending the pick. And they've been even going as far as taking photos of Robert Pattinson and drawing the cowl on him.
Right.
Oh, see, he looks fine.
It does. It's not about whether or not he looks good in a mask. Most people look good when you put a mask that covers half their face.
Right.
The problem is that I don't know that he's got the chops for it. Like,
yeah, I'm not really familiar with him as an actor in terms of like what he's been in. I can't really think of anything that I've really seen him. I know he was
Twilight, Harry Potter. Those are the only two things I know.
Okay, so I've seen him in Harry Potter, but I mean that was a bit part, and that's kind of hard to judge that.
Yeah.
And Twilight didn't really. I mean, I'm not that familiar with it, so.
All the clips I've seen of Twilight, the acting is very wooden, like slack-jawed, droopy-eyed, and that's not just Robert Pattinson. That's everybody.
Sleepy Batman.
He's Sleepy Batman, exactly. He's gonna be a Batman that is high on marijuana. He's gonna always be just a little bit laid back about things. Well, I'm trapped under the house, so it's fine. But now I'm starving. This is going great.
It's the lesser of two evils.
Man, Ark is one of those games that's just brutal from what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't.
And if the game doesn't kill you, the other players will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm not into those survival. Those are too frustrating for me.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not for me either. I'd rather play a game like that's a little bit more laid back and relaxing and slow paced, like Sekiro. You know.
Yeah, that's
super easy.
Yeah, definitely relaxing. So what are your thoughts on if they go forward with him as Batman? I guess apparently the guy, what is it, Matt Reeves that's doing the movie? So apparently he's announced that he will have both Catwoman and Penguin as the villains. So what's your thoughts on that?
That's such a weird choice. Like
it's the
we've already got a movie
Batman
where
Returns,
Batman fights Catwoman and Penguin at the same time. It's called Batman Returns. Yeah. And it's one of the best Batman movies, if not the best Batman movie of all time. I love the original Michael Keaton Batman, but I feel like Batman Returns was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better. Like, I think it edges out. But anyways, I think that's such a weird choice. Like, there's so many villains that Batman has that you could do some interesting stuff with. And some of them have never been touched, like Clayface. Right. We haven't seen Killer Croc on screen, on the big screen, except in Suicide Squad, but let's not talk about that.
We're not counting that.
You could have Deadshot in there.
Yeah.
You could have Slade, Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have so many villains that have not been seen on the big screen yet, and it's just a weird choice. Whoa, hey. Hey, Kellen followed. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. We're just geeking out at the moment. Hopefully that's okay. The D&D should start soon, but we wanted to be doing something while everybody's waiting. So, but yeah, what does that put us at? 64 followers. Yes, 11 away from our next giveaway.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's going to be great.
Super excited about that. Yeah, I don't know. It is a weird choice. It seems like they're kind of trying to reboot that movie, and I don't understand why. Like, it's a weird...
Here's my question. What are they going to do with that in terms of, like, the DC extended universe at large? Like, have they just given up on that?
From what I understand, they're going all standalones from here on out. They're not trying to connect anything. Although there will be connections, they're not going to do any kind of a team up or anything. At least that's what they've kind of publicly announced, but who knows if they're...
I mean, it's possible that they're trying to, like, kind of take a step back and approach it from the same perspective Marvel did in the beginning, where all the movies were just standalones. They were intended to be standalones, and they dropped little tiny, like, plot threads where that they could connect across movies, so that they can do a team up ultimately. And it makes sense that they would go with a younger person to play Batman, because Batman's a very physical role. You need, especially if you want it to be a long-standing franchise, you need a younger actor who can, stick with the role for a long period of time. But it's so weird to me that they're gonna, like, roll back on the whole DCEU thing when they still have, like, Aquaman was reasonably successful.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was, like, the best movie, but it was successful enough.
Yeah.
And I like Jason Momoa in the role. And then, of course, you've got Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, and she's a great character.
1984 comes out this year, right?
1984. Now, see, that could be an interesting way to kind of tie things in. You've got a younger Batman, so they roll back the whole Batman thing back in time.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
But then you've got continuity issues with Justice League and the crossover there, and
right.
who knows? The DC is just all, they're a mess.
Yeah, they definitely went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I get them rushing into it. I mean, there was a lot of money to be made on the table, and I get that, but...
You make so much more money if you don't screw it up from, like, the moment you start.
Yeah.
I don't know. What am I, what am I talking about? I'm not a giant studio exec, so... Kellen says, I've never really been into the DC universe. I'm more of a Marvel kind of girl. Geek away. I love geeking. Yeah, I'm a bigger Marvel fan than I am a DC fan.
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah.
Comics and movies, for me.
Yeah.
And video games, too, actually.
So I just had a thought. They're doing the Joker movie. Then they're doing the Batman.
Yes.
It might be kind of interesting to see those two iterations of those characters meet up in a third movie where it's Batman against the Joker.
Yeah.
Because I really am intrigued by the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I'm not, again, I think it's kind of weird that they're doing it the way they're doing it, but
right.
I can withhold judgment long enough to say, I'll check it out and see where it leads.
Sure.
So that might be interesting. Might not be.
Yeah, I mean, I really do hope they do have some crossover because, again, I'm definitely way more of a Marvel fan, but they have amazing characters at DC if they use them correctly, and they're kind of set up to be, cross movie, like a huge universe. It's, I think probably more so than Marvel was set up for it. They're more set up for it like that. I mean, they've had like some crazy big, like you can ask most people like name some Marvel crossover events, and there's like 2 or 3, but name some DC ones, and people can probably rattle those off because they were big. They changed everything for the thing. So
true, yeah. Comic book fans will know a lot of the big DC events more so than they'll know the Marvel events. Like Marvel, you've got Infinity Gauntlet, Civil War, Secret Wars.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but even as a Marvel fan, I can't like think of the big ones off the top of my head just because I don't really care for the big crossover events.
Right.
But with DC, you've got Identity Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Crisis on... I forget what the other one is, but Crisis basically factors into most of them.
Flashpoint.
You got Flashpoint, you've got the...
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's so many of them that, like, I don't know. It seems like they're set up for it, and it's a shame that they're not taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
It really is.
One of the things I think they kind of missed an opportunity with DC is, even more so than Marvel, is they have had alternate Earths in the DC universe for forever. Like, that's one of the big things that drove a lot of their big crossover events, like Crisis on Infinite Earths and stuff like that, where you had all these heroes and people from other planets, from other versions of Earth, kind of converging at the same point. And so, if they had taken that perspective on it, it's a little bit outlandish and comic booky, but Marvel's proven that works in movies. If they had taken that perspective on it and been like, there are going to be different versions of these characters, like, I can see it being kind of confusing, but what they're doing is confusing too. So it's not like they've avoided that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's weird.
I think honestly though, their biggest mistake from the get-go was not, I mean, they had this established fan base and continuity in their CW line.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they didn't tap into that for the movies. Like, it was there, they had young actors, they had, everything that they needed was established there. I don't understand why they didn't just pull some people up for a movie, let them go back to their show. Like,
I can agree with that because, like, you got Justin Grant who plays the Flash in the Arrowverse Flash, like the CW Flash, and he's really good. I love him as that character, as Barry Allen. Like, he's got the kind of down to earth, nerdy kind of persona that carries that character really well. And then you've got Stephen Amell as Arrow, as Green Arrow, and he was great in the role. They kind of ripped off Batman, like they made him less Green Arrow and more Batman for the first like half of that series. But it still would have been a perfectly viable character in a movie. And Stephen Amell is, I mean, he's awesome. He's in great shape. Like, he would have headlined those movies no problem, I feel like. And then it would have been really entertaining to have, like, like a mini Justice League type movie come out with some of those characters,
Yeah.
and then later introduce like Batman, and be like have him and Green Arrow butt heads as like who's in charge, who's
Right.
the leader here. I don't know. I think that would have been. I think that would have been really good.
I mean, they had like was it Legends of Tomorrow or whatever? They had like tons
Yeah.
of up and coming superstars that they could have.
Yeah, they had Brandon Ruth as Adam,
Yeah.
White Canary, who I don't really care for. I prefer Black Canary, although the lady who plays Black Canary in Arrow, I don't think is very convincing
Yeah.
as that role, but that's just me. But they had Mr. Terrific set up, like in Arrow. I don't know if he's actually shown up as that character, or if they just like hinted at it. But yeah, they've had so many characters in that those CW series, and they just like, nah, we want to do something else.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand.
I don't know. I can't. You starved to death. Oh no! Now there is a saber-toothed kitty always trying to eat my face, and my friend is taking a long time. I'm so sorry that your friend has abandoned you. Clearly, they've decided it's too dangerous there, and they've decided that they're going to go do something that's a lot safer. But I apologize, Kellen, that has happened to you. It's never fun to have a saber-toothed tiger eat your face off.
Yeah, that game sounds stressful.
Yeah, it's not for me for sure. Yeah, I don't know. DC, man, they're just all over the place. But then again, maybe there's a case to be made for them just sticking to TV. Like
I mean, they kind of own it.
They do. They rock a lot of those the live action shows, and even their cartoons are really good.
Yeah.
Marvel, they've had some good cartoons, but they're not really known for that.
WB Animation's always been way ahead. Although
Yeah.
I did see the trailer for Hush, and I was super disappointed because they're switching up the core storyline a little bit.
Oh, that's a bummer, because
Yeah.
Hush is a good storyline.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my, if not my favorite Batman story.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really good.
Yeah, but they're switching that up, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll still watch it though.
But yeah, even Marvel's like live action shows, like what was it? Inhumans lasted like half a season, and then that tanked.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've never even bothered
I don't know
watching it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've heard it's really bad. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been going for a while. I think they might be on their last season, if I'm correct. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they had a really shaky start, and then they got really good, and then I feel like they've kind of fallen off in later seasons. So they're good. It's a good show, but it's kind of rocky. And then you've got like, I don't think there are any other Disney. Or well, there was Peggy Carter or Agent Carter. That was actually really good, but they canceled that after 2 seasons.
Which was weird because fans loved that.
Yeah,
show.
it was
like,
the most popular one of their shows. It was crazy. So I don't know.
Not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we've already gone through the endgame spoilers thing, so I think this is probably safe to. But I was reading something. The Russo brothers, I guess, have been doing this tour where they've been answering fan questions and stuff, and I kind of wish they wouldn't do that anymore because they're kind of ruining stuff. But apparently, they believe in their head that, or their intention is that Peggy's husband was Cap all along. So like from Civil War when he's at her bedside and whatever, like, and she has a husband, it was Cap all the time. The kids that she had were with Cap, which makes his and Sharon Carter's interaction super weird. And I don't understand why they did that.
Yeah, like, nope. So, hold on a second. We're going to go off the air for, well, we're going to be live, but we're going to mute and everything like that for a minute, because Sophie and Andrew have arrived.
Are you muted now?
Hey, Minnie, nice to see you. Thanks very much for joining us. Sorry you came in right as we were kind of doing a quick reset on the stream setup. So apologies for the silence. We will be back on in just a moment. But thank you very much for joining us. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We have a full party now, which is always good. I was about to send Samson into the boss fight on his own.
That would have been fine.
I would have ran.
Exactly.
I would have just ran.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
I think these are definitely mine. Well, these ones are.
Did you have any of these?
Not anymore, no.
Oh, okay.
I managed to find spell cards for all of hers.
Oh,
For some strange reason, I don't have the version of the spell cards that includes those, which is kind of weird. So, FYI, our microphone is up above us at this point.
Cool.
So, if you could just do a quick mic check for me.
Andrew is my name. 1-star peeps is my game.
Mic check.
Can you say a couple more things?
Noises.
All
Loud
right.
noises.
Sounds good. It looks like it's capturing that pretty well. Everybody at home, let us know if that is not the case, and if we have to adjust the microphones at all, because we can do that.
Over there.
So,
I don't know. You the mic in the car?
Alright, that's fine.
It's been on off here for
Uh-oh.
a few minutes.
We have a wake up alarm, I guess. But now I got my phone. Maybe? Sophia's phone.
a phone.
No, Sophia's phone.
Alright.
If you wanted
Did
it.
you need it?
Well, I was gonna pull up.
I don't need it.
I was gonna pull up Twitch on my phone so I could watch the chat over here. Just like I normally do. But
You can use my phone.
do you have Twitch on your phone?
I think I do.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. So, when last we left off, you fought a giant monster thingy. It actually proved fairly easy to kill compared to the random bandits that showed up on the, or gang members that showed up on the bridge with you. But you managed to take care of them after cruelly dropping one off of the bridge.
He looked like a guy that owed me money. I threw him off. My mistake.
Actually, as I recall, you were trying to help him.
I was.
You just rolled a natural 1 on the check.
Unhelpfulness.
Yeah. So,
I
you know.
wanted to grab him and I pushed him. It's a common mistake.
Yeah, you know. It's the same general motion. You just reach out and, you know. Yeah, anyways. Then you went and you tracked down. Well, first off, you got your bear claws.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most important thing.
Most important thing. You decided to go track down a Vedalken guy named Otrovac, and you went to Precinct 2 to find out where he was, because he is hanging out in a district, or a part of the district that's basically run by the Azorius Senate. You went to a place called New Prov in District 2 to try to find him. Basically, it's like the big courthouse / governmental center for District 2 or for Precinct 2 and the 10th District at large. So, you ran into your buddy, Captain... What was his name? Too many names to remember here.
Captain Drakmir.
Captain Drakmir, that's right. He's a Minotaur buddy of Samson's, or technically Uxeth's. And you were just heading into the building to try to find this Otrovac guy. That's where we left off. However, I believe last time we also determined that it was time to level up.
Right.
So the question is, has everybody managed to do that?
I think I'm good.
I think so.
Did you get your
We're good.
hit points?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, the only thing that we didn't do.
Yes.
Yeah. So did you want us to do +5 or roll for it?
That is your choice.
Oh, okay.
And it's 5 plus your Constitution
Right.
modifier if you decide to go that route.
That's what I did. I decided 8 on mine.
Oh, that's right, because you have a high Constitution modifier, so yeah, that is off.
What is my Constitution
That would
modifier?
just be fine.
I mean,
15 is better than 10.
sure. Yeah, I'll just take the 5.
15 is better than 10. And 15 is better than 11 as well.
Okay. Cool. That's it.
So then you now have the ability to harness mana,
Mm-hmm.
which you can do as an action on your turn to basically increase the amount of mana you have by 1. You can do it as a bonus action if you are in an area that is associated with your mana affinity in question. You can go up to a total of 5 mana at any given time. You start the day with 4. You can also... Hold on, there's something
You
else
got
there.
the guild contact. Or...
Yes, you get your guild contact. So that should have given you an extra proficiency of your choice. What did you pick?
I went with the armor, so I can get
Okay.
better armor.
Medium armor proficiency? Okay.
What did you go with?
I don't know, because you and Alex worked on it.
I didn't know that was part of it. We didn't do that part. On the fly, I'm just going to be better at insight. There you go.
Alrighty. It can be any kind of proficiency you want, by the way. It can be a language, a skill,
That's cool.
a tool, an armor, a weapon.
That's fine.
Alright.
I'll take insight.
Here's like a list of them if you want
Oh.
Got to do the housekeeping bits before we get into the game itself. Got to make sure everybody's characters are ready to go.
Guess I could use armor, because I'm pretty...
True. You've got... what's your dex modifier?
1.
Okay. So if you wanted to go with a heavy armor proficiency, currently you're wearing armor that gives you an AC of, what is it, 16?
Yeah.
16.
16, and that's with the shield and a chain shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you... Where's my player's handbook? There it is. Armors. Chain shirt, 13 plus dex modifier plus 2, 16. Perfect. So you have a bit of wiggle room in the medium armor area. You could always upgrade to a scale mail or breastplate or half plate, and that would give you a couple points in AC. Alternatively, scale mail would be good for your character. Alternatively, if you decided to go heavy armor, you would probably want to go with chainmail, which gives you a base AC of 16, plus 2 for your shield is 18. But you can also get into splint mail and plate mail, which gives you a base of 17 and 18 respectively.
Okay.
So you've got a higher cap on AC if you go with the if you go with the heavy armors.
Okay.
Problem is they get kind of expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also are burning a proficiency to get up to that. So, not saying it's not worth it, just letting you know what the implications are.
Since armor, I don't know.
Does your character do stealth? I forget.
She doesn't have anything for stealth.
No? Okay. The only reason I ask is because certain armors give you disadvantage on stealth checks, and as you get heavier armor, they are more likely to do so. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for just straight up upgrades to your armor class, heavy armor is the way to go. If you're planning on increasing your dexterity as you go, as you level up, then heavy armor becomes less useful because then you're not getting your dex bonus added to your AC the way you do with medium armor.
Okay.
So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a weird balancing act, but
Sounds like games.
it sounds like games, yeah. So I'm not saying don't do heavy armor because heavy armor is awesome, but I'm just making sure you know the implications.
Yeah. I think we'll go with armor for now, though.
Okay. So on the second page, you should have a proficiencies block, and you can just put heavy armor. And for you, it would be medium armor.
Yeah, I just circled it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Proficiency.
Upper left corner.
There.
Yep. You can just mark the box for heavy armor proficiency. All right, and then you also would have gotten a cantrip each from your respective spell lists. Did you already do that?
No.
Okay.
What did you guys do
We
this
did nothing.
morning?
We did nothing, apparently. We looked at it, and maybe I just misread the advice we got.
I think.
Oh, man, we're terrible.
So for red, you currently have firebolt and what other cantrips?
Okay,
That's a good question.
there.
I'll just make-
Blue or green?
I have lots of cool stuff. Thank you very much.
Scroll through that.
Oh,
Spells are usually on the last page.
Yep.
I don't know if they've been
Big blast.
written out for you or not.
Oh well, I've got these cards. Which is pretty
Okay.
sweet.
Yeah, the card should tell you what all you've got.
Yeah. Question is, which ones are cantrips?
If I can see one of the cards.
Oh, it
pardon
says
me.
cantrip at the top.
Yeah,
it is.
there you go.
Cool. I've got Firebolt, Light, Dancing Lights, Minor Illusions, and Ray of Frost,
Okay.
and Thunderclap.
Can I see those? I don't think you should have all those.
They're in the pile that were handed to me.
So we're still picking from this first one.
Firebolt, you definitely have, because
Yeah,
I seem
that's
to
the
recall you
cantrips.
picking that.
We'll go with
How many
this
cantrips
one.
do you
So
have?
just so you guys know, I took spare the dying or spare the dying. So if somebody gets zeroed out, I can stabilize you.
Sweet.
And we can
Okay.
work on fixing that.
So as far as I can tell, you should have 3 cantrips total. Dancing Lights, I seem to recall, was another one that you took.
Sure.
And then Thunderclap is also on the red spell list. The other ones are not, which is why I was kind of confused.
Okay.
So I will take these back. Do you have all of your cantrip cards?
I have 5.
I had the 4, and then I'm choosing another
Do
one.
you have 5?
Yeah, I had 4, and then I'm picking the other one. This was the green flame blade was the 4th one.
Oh, you do have a 4th one. Okay. All right. So then, what are your spells total again? Like all the different spells you got?
I have 4 extra: Fog Cloud, Shatter, Color Spray, and Quick Retreat. Or Expeditious Retreat. Sorry, and Compelled the Duel. That's 8 total.
Something about that seeming off to me. How many do you have total?
5. So I have
Well,
total
plus
to-
these guys.
Oh, spells. So
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
You have 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have the +1 from the new cantrip.
Yeah, I'm counting that.
Oh,
Oh
you
wait,
don't?
no, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So you got 8. You've got 8.
I had the 3 spells and 1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
5, yeah.
You also have 8. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you all have the correct number of spells. But you guys are still missing cantrips.
Yeah.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do you have 5 first level spells? How do you have 5 first level spells?
I have a 2nd level spell.
Well, oh, that's right. You got a 2nd level as well.
I got
So you've
1
got-
second
Yeah, I got
level,
one
2
second
first
level.
levels.
2
I have
first.
4 first levels.
I remember you gave us an extra one
Yeah, did you not pick yours?
I don't know. Am I missing one? Because I'll take another spell.
Well, how many first level spells do you guys have?
4.
4. And 1 second level spell?
Yes, that's
Okay.
good.
I'm seeing 1, 2...
I have 2 first level
Yeah, I only have 2 first level as well.
and 1 second.
You have like a lot of cantrips. You have 5 cantrips.
Okay, so that might be the trade-off, is you've got more spells that cost mana,
Mm.
and you guys have more cantrips that
Mhm.
are less powerful but don't cost mana to cast, unless you boost them up.
Right.
So we will go with that for now, and then we'll have to figure out what the problem is after the fact. I was hoping we could level up before we started on stream, so
Yeah.
we will take it and run with it. All right, so we will come back around to the cantrips thing at the end. But
Sounds
you've got
good.
your proficiencies, you've got the harness mana thing. Cool. You got your hit points. Those are all the key things that we want to make sure we've got. So, you guys are basically on these stairs to this big, like, Senate building. And it's this big marble column type structure, which you can see here. This is the whole, like, neighborhood of New Prov.
Okay.
So you guys are in front of this large marble tower that is basically housing one of the branches of the Azorius Senate.
What does security look like?
So there are Azorius soldiers all over the place. You've got a few stationed sentry at the door, and then 2 more stationed sentry at the bottom of the staircases, and then at the end of both ends of the avenue, as this kind of like a courtyard type setup, only it's not enclosed with walls. At the end of the courtyard, there's a road that leads out in either direction, and you've got soldiers astride these like kind of ephemeral astral horses. So, and they've got lances and armor and stuff like that. So there's 2 on each side there. So you can see 8 guards just in your field of view currently.
I mean, we're here to see the guy. Let's go see him.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll just head into the building and
Do our best.
head up
Okay.
to the 4th floor.
Sounds good. I need to pull up. There we go. All right. So you walk in, and the first hall, like the first floor, is. We've all been to conventions. It's like the really long, wide hallways with fairly large rooms off of them, and these rooms are used for different hearings and judicial meetings and things like that. Anything that requires a large audience, or like a large attendance or anything like that. So there's a lot of that kind of not quite echo, but it's got that quality of sound when there's lots of people in a really open space with hard like stone floors and walls where it should be echoey. Like it's very kind of not chaotic but loud.
It's a wave of noise.
A little bit overwhelming, yeah. Every so often, kind of spaced equally along the hallway, there are these kind of banners, but they're actual like magical, so think kind of like sci-fi hologram type things, and they actually are various legal decrees about like recent verdicts or laws that have been passed, things like that, and they'll be up for a couple of minutes, and then they will like morph into another decree. Some of them are laws that have been in place for a while. Others are things that have just passed. So it just kind of seems like it's like a bulletin board to say, hey, don't forget this thing is illegal. So,
Nice.
Cool.
and then you've got some pretty large marble staircases on either side leading up to the second floors. There is an elevator type apparatus kind of centrally located in the hallway, but it looks like it's for specific people to use. So
Looks like we're taking the stairs.
Yep.
Sure.
stairs, every Naga's best friend, right?
You want to take the left stairs or the
Go
right
on the
stairs?
handrail. Yeah, I wonder if it matters. Are they connected at the top?
So you can kind of see up several floors. Like you can see like rows of like kind of a balcony type thing
Right.
that spans the length of the hall. And so each individual side is connected by walkways at the end and in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So,
Alright. So yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just take some stairs up.
all right. I need this. I need that. Add a little of this. All right.
The you chose poorly book.
You make your way up the stairs. And
Yes.
do you guys remember where you were told he was?
Yeah, 4th floor, office 3.
Okay, perfect.
Glad someone wrote things down. Oh, sure. Mine is doing something.
All right. So yeah, you
That's what I've got.
you head up to the 4th floor. There are. You don't really get harassed so much as you do get people kind of stopping and looking, because you are the only members of your respective races in the building. So that you're definitely getting a little bit of attention just from that perspective. But nobody, like I said, nobody harasses you or anything like that. The guards kind of keep an eye on you, but then when it's obvious that you're looking for an office, they just let you go about your business. So, unless you do anything to call attention to yourselves.
No.
No.
I stare down everyone in the hall.
She's like, he's gonna fight you. Like, wait a minute.
Everybody,
Flare your hood again. That shows dominance.
right?
Flex on the haters.
Just smile at everybody, and they're gonna be like, "Wait, what is that? I don't."
Why are they smiling at me? Something seems sinister. But yeah, you get to the 4th floor. You are on the side. Unfortunately, you chose the stairwell that is on the opposite side from the hall
Sorry, guys.
to where you should be. So you need to like walk across the hallway or the walkway, but you get over there no problem. And office 3 is all the way down at the other end of the building. You guys came in kind of like the back courtyard entrance as opposed to the front courtyard entrance.
All right.
So yeah,
Shimmy towards the office.
you get there.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, once you're up on the upper floors, there's actually the crowd is dispersed a lot. Most people have business in the larger like hearing rooms and things like that. Fewer people have business up on the other floors unless they have appointments of some sort or things like that.
Right.
So not as crowded up here. But yeah, you get to office 3,
This is the Vulcan guy, right?
Vedalken guy. Yeah.
Okay, Vedalken, that's what it is.
We want discreet.
And I don't know if you guys want to see
Although we're not very
a
good.
picture of a Vedalken. I can
It's the blue guy.
make that happen.
They have 3 or 4. They have 4 or 5 fingers, depending on what plane they're from. And
All right, I think I know what they are too. They were in Kaladesh, right?
yeah, they were in
Yeah,
Kaladesh.
yeah. All right,
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy on the right.
And then
Dovin is
Right.
Vedalken.
Right.
If that helps.
Yes, it does.
those of you on stream, that's what we're talking about. That's what Vedalken look like in general.
Are you blue skinned or green skinned?
She's a green merfolk.
Yeah.
Just gonna say maybe you should talk to him. That
Yeah.
sounds racist.
Not all blue-skinned people are friends.
She's teal, okay. It's a blue
Jeez.
green.
Yeah, that was racist. I'm sorry.
It's
I
my favorite
apologize.
All right, so
You probably look. They all look like fish people. You look like fish people. Probably.
I
They're
feel
probably
like I
cousins.
should be offended, but
she'd probably be offended. Matter of fact, go roll for being offended.
Oh, dice. Most important
Yeah,
part.
dice. You know,
Gotta be ready with that.
you might need some of those.
In D&D, never.
Never.
Yeah, 20.
I'm very offended.
You're critically offended.
You're so offended that you don't even have to say anything. You just give him that look, and he knows.
I'm just vibrating rage.
All right, but yeah, you get to the office. There's a little brass plaque that has been etched with the name Otrovac.
Cool.
It says Azorius. It says juror underneath it.
Okay, so before we go in, what this guy was possibly being extorted, right, or blackmailed?
I don't remember.
I think that's what I have, like possible
Okay.
suspects for. Oh no, he's a suspect for possibly wanting to steal guild keys. No, okay, the other guy, Mylosh, was being blackmailed. This
Mhm.
guy, all he's tied in with the Azorius. That's the only note I have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet he's a little Balkan. That was helpful.
But my guild contact also said that they were suspicious of him too, and they wanted to kind of keep tabs on him.
Right. There. Oh, was he being blackmailed? Is he on Sophia's blackmailed list?
No, that was that Milosh guy, the centaur.
So there were 3 people
Mylash, Otrovac,
that
and
the Acromis had identified as possibly, being involved in this whole thing.
Right.
One of them was Mylash, and you went and Sophia went and talked to, or Ulala went and talked to him and got some information, confirmed that he is indeed being blackmailed. And Otrovac is one of the other people that is suspected of being targeted by this same group of people, or same individual, or whoever it is that's doing this.
Okay.
Cool. So maybe we can go in and play this as the Boris hired us to kind of help him suss out if anybody's messing with them. And the reason why they hired us is because we're clearly not Boris, and there's no tie to them if something goes south.
Sounds very reasonable.
Sounds like a good plan.
Are your dice in a Capri Sun pouch?
No.
It does look like a Capri Sun
It's
pouch,
kinda
though.
Cool, yeah.
All right, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Got juice dice. So yeah, let's go in.
Okay. So you stop and have like a quick huddle outside the door, which is open. So you guys stop like between that office and another office.
What's
And
our plan
then-
again?
Go for it.
No.
No, he's just saying.
That's what the
Yeah,
scene.
that's-
Oh.
We huddled up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
do a clap and break.
Who's in there? What's
Yeah, we open the door.
So the door is open.
Oh.
Unlike a lot of the offices here on the floor, and there's a blue-skinned Vidalken guy that is sitting behind a desk. It's got a lot of papers, very orderly, stacked up, very clearly organized, and he's got tomes and scrolls, again, also very clearly like earmarked and flagged and labeled and everything like that. He kind of like looks up and drops his quill in the inkwell and is like, "Are you lost?"
Hola, Otra.
Are you Otrovac?
Read the nameplate, son.
Okay, well, actually, you're who we're looking for. We were
What can I do to help?
we were hired by the Boris to offer services to you. We understand that somebody may be trying to blackmail you, and we're here to offer our services to ensure your safety and your family.
I have no idea what you people are talking about.
Are you not being blackmailed? Is there
Should
not somebody?
close the door first?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I need to close the door.
All right, so
Check for bugs.
they're all kind of crowded in the doorway, and
We should walk in.
Uxeth is like, "Aren't you being blackmailed?" And Strype is like gently pushes everybody into the room and closes the door behind them. He says, "I come in, I suppose. I don't know where you would have gotten a notion like that. That seems like a rather vile rumor for someone in a position such as mine."
Okay, let me start over because that was kind of weird. So my name's Uxeth.
Yo, dog, you being
This
bullied?
is Ulala and Strype, and we were hired because there is a group of individuals who are currently trying to manipulate some officials to get guild keys, and we were hired to protect you because you were a person of interest that could be targeted.
He kind of taps his one thumb on the corner of the desk. Says, "Protect me. How do you... What protection could I possibly need? I'm in one of the safest places in the city."
But you don't live here. You're not here every day, like all day long.
No, but the second district is... or the second precinct is perhaps...
Well, there is a possibility, too, that the threat isn't a physical threat. It could be a political threat or a financial threat. And we were hired to suss out any possible leads on any of those fronts and assist you. Jump in
If you would, if the rest of you want to say something, feel free to roll me some sort of charisma based thing. You can do persuasion if you want to. It seems like it's the most logical thing.
Oh, sweet.
Um,
Charisma, my
you could
strength.
also do insight if one of you wanted to kind of get a read on the guy.
Yeah, one of you should probably roll insight
You're
because
inside out right now.
my charisma's 11.
Probably better. That's probably.
So are you
What's that in
doing...
Well, no, it's
I can do.
Mine's fine.
Since you were the one doing the most talking, I think the persuasion roll has to come from you.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
What's your total?
5.
Plus 3
A
plus
5. Okay. He continues to look skeptical, and he says, "If that'll be all, I do have business to attend to."
Okay, well.
I don't think you understand the seriousness of our presence here. There are some very serious parties concerned about the security threat that you pose to the operation that's happening, and we need to make sure that you don't become a loose end.
A loose end. Make it sound like you're here to kill me.
We want to make sure we don't have to do that.
I see. Is that an intimidation check that you're trying to make?
Sure, why not?
Go for
The
it.
tiniest person in the party.
So I'm a wolf, thank you very much.
Wolf-ish. Wolf light.
Alright, which one is intimidation?
Should be on charisma. The third one.
Cool. 23.
Okay. He kind of sits back, and the Boros said I was a threat.
Not that you are a threat, but you're in a position that could cause you to become a threat to security. As being a juror, and then you also are on this list of being targeted by this other group of people.
All right. So say that there was some sort of an issue. Why would they send you? You don't seem like you wear the colors or have any of the marks of rank that the Boros are so fond of.
That's exactly why they sent us, because this is it can be a clean operation if things go south. There is no ties to them.
Deception check.
Okay, I actually have a proficiency in that. That'll help a little bit. Wait,
Sneaky snake.
do not roll on that one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
19. No, yeah, 18. I'm sorry. I don't even. Wait, is that a plus?
Yeah, if you get proficiency, you add your proficiency
18.
modifier.
20.
20. All right.
This die.
16, 17, 19, 20. He's just going to keep going up until he succeeds.
Just looking at your face. Is that high enough yet?
Exactly. So, a 20, he says, I suppose that makes a certain level of sense. Not that I'm saying anything is going on, or that anybody is trying to leverage things against me.
Right.
Should I roll for insight to see if he's lying?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Liar.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I just shout liar and nothing happens. We get asked politely to leave.
Lala 100% believes this guy that nothing is going on. Like, we must have the wrong vedalken named Otrovac, and there must be another one out here somewhere. So, okay. He says, well, unless you have something of substance to offer to this conversation, I appreciate you warning me that the Boros are keeping an eye on me, I suppose, but beyond that, I don't know what help I can be.
So you haven't been approached by anybody at all?
I've been approached by 3 very strange individuals in my office on this very day.
Has anybody approached you for guild keys? Or access to guild keys? That normally wouldn't be... That should not normally have access to you. You know what I'm trying to say. It would be better if you work with us now. If we find something out later, again, the possibility of you getting out of this unscathed is great. And if you don't work with us now, we can't guarantee that later. We need your cooperation.
He says, I don't think I have any reason to cooperate with you at all. I don't think you have any authority. I've seen no evidence that you carry any sort of weight behind your claims or your so-called positions. It's excellent that the Boros is outsourcing to rabble, but the fact of the matter is,
much.
I have no reason whatsoever to cooperate with people that I can't, whose identities I can't not corroborate.
And do you have anything important on you?
Go bold. I mean, I got that key.
What if you dangle him out the window?
You say that in character. Lala's like, maybe you should dangle him out a window.
It worked well last time.
Exactly. Just don't drop him this time.
It's only the 4th floor. He'd probably only break a couple legs.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if it's a too bold. Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's too bold of a move to do it, but
How can we convince him?
Are there any names we can drop?
I mean, I have my name as a wonderful poet. To put at stake.
I don't know how much this guy hangs out on the poetry scene, though.
Impress
Yeah.
him with your words.
I mean, you could try
could sue them.
arguing the case.
Yeah, I'll argue that I have my reputation as a poet to put on the line to help this guy. I don't know how that correlates, but
Well, who was the lady you were speaking with? Like your,
I think our guild friends,
yeah. The scary lady.
Scary Veraska, not Veraska. I forget her name.
I didn't write your lady's name
I
down.
didn't write my lady's name down. I mean, I thought it was a guild.
Ludmilla. She's a Medusa.
It should be on there on the Friends and Allies
Yes,
part.
that's true.
So we do have proof that there has been attempts to get keys and that people have successfully gotten those keys.
Perhaps you should be investigating that then.
And we are. There's more than us involved in this investigation. We were just hired to protect you and your interests. But if you don't want that assistance, we can't force you to do anything. But I guess just know you are being watched.
I see.
Whether you're an accomplice or in the investigation, or if you're just a focal point of it, it's up to you. Makes sense? Need to watch some CSI.
Just
Says, well, I suppose I've been duly warned. If there's nothing else.
leave him our card so he can find us if he changes his mind. Someone approaches, some strange person approaches him. That's not us.
Okay, so you give him like a piece of paper with your names on it, like where he can find you generally.
Yeah.
He takes it and says, "Thank you."
All right, we should probably just leave. we tripped all over this one.
He says, "Please close the door on your way out."
How was it open to begin with?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Can we go and?
So interrogation did not go well.
Or did it?
Maybe we
Yeah,
should have
it
tried
is.
therapy again.
He seems super suspicious, though, right?
He seems like a
He
person.
pleaded
that
the 5th. He's allowed to do that.
he seems like a person that doesn't trust us at all
I mean,
and
fair.
doesn't want to share secrets.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Is there a possibility that we could go and find other people around and listen? That maybe be like, "Hey, you're Otrovac's friend. How's it going? Is he dealing with shady people?"
Yeah, you could try doing that.
Is there like a pub or anything where all of these like jury or judges and stuff go? Is there like a hangout for them?
So there are a number of eateries in the area. Not so much pubs, but there are some slightly nicer establishments.
Ones that don't challenge you to poison drinking contests.
Yeah.
The good kind, non real life ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could go hang out and try and get some dirt on him or something. Maybe find a political rival or something.
Could try doing that.
Good.
You said you wanted to ask around inside the building? Or just in the area?
I mean, the building sounds like it's easy to find people in the building. They all have their names on the doors, but I don't know who to start asking. I feel like just eavesdropping, like by the water cooler or something, might be starting point.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe we could all just kind of spread out so we're not suspicious as a group. We can be suspicious individually.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you guys are going to kind of station yourself around.
Do you want?
Yeah.
Like one of us could go hang out at an eatery, and one of us could hang out by water coolers, and
They don't really have water coolers, but
you know, the cafeteria.
Are there any like mice in the building? I can be like, hey, so can you guys hang out in this office?
it's unlikely to
Yeah.
find mice in the building. However, you might be able to find some birds.
That might be a good idea. Station one outside of his window.
A bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, let's go find a bird to do my bidding for me.
All right. I mean, it's a fairly large city, kind of like New York, so there are definitely like pigeon-style birds. And let's just go out on a limb and say they are pigeons. Kind of hanging out. They don't really seem to care that people are walking by. There are some Azorius, like some very low-ranking Azorius, like neonates, who are kind of like trying to shoo the pigeons away and clean up after them. But as soon as they shoo some of the pigeons away, like they just go to another part of the avenue, and then they have to go chase them that way. So, but yeah, you're able to find some.
Yeah, I approach a group of birds and do I roll to see if I can start speaking with them, or?
You have a spell that lets you just speak with animals, right?
Yeah, so I just spend a mana to do that.
Yeah.
Where did I put there?
Yeah, she does it.
All right. Can I see the card for speak with animals real quick, just so I can make sure that I know exactly what it does?
You're a strong lady. I don't need to pick up the
You
right
comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence. The minimum beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or perceive within the past day. Okay. So yeah, you're like, what do you say?
Hello, friends. You know, my birds are friends now.
Say it in pigeon. No, I'm kidding.
Squawk.
So, yeah, you start talking to them, and several of them just kind of ignore you. A couple of them look up, and then when they see you don't have any food in your hands, they just kind of go back to what they were doing. But a couple of the other ones, like, they hop a little bit closer.
Do we have the bear claws on us, or are they back in the
I
apartment?
don't think you made a stop to drop the bear claws off, so you probably have bear claws on you.
Okay, so I pull out a bear claw and I break it
You
in
have
half.
all of their attention now.
I'm like, hello, friends.
It's like 18 pigeons have
Yeah.
all just, like, narrowed in on Lala.
So I drop a couple, you know, enough pieces so everyone can kind of get a little bit of the bear
Okay.
claw. And then I start talking to them. There's more where this bear claw came from if you do this favor for me, my little friends.
Again, most of them ignore you. A few of them are like, "Keep talking. We heard more bear claws. Let's get into the details here."
Yeah. And then I look up at the
Window?
I assume we can see the window where
Yeah.
Otrovac's office is. So I look up to the window and I point and be like, in that window or in that office is a man named Otrovac. I would like it if you kept an eye on him for the remainder of the day, I suppose. Is that how this works, or am I just asking what they've seen?
You want us to watch him for an entire day? Do you have any idea how much food we could find in that amount of time?
These pigeons are really
12 bear
unhelpful.
claws.
12 bear claws? No, nothing.
I don't think I've ever found 12 bear claws in a day. Are you offering 12 bear claws?
Can I offer our bear claws?
Right, you have them. You're already talking to them.
Okay, yes.
I assume you divvied them up. I mean,
I'm
There's
okay.
three of us.
I will donate my bear claws to the
I'll
cause.
donate
Okay.
the bear claws.
Okay, so yeah, all
To the
these
bear
bear claws
claws.
are going to these fat pigeons.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah, you have about 4 of them that seem like they're willing to listen. Go ahead and give me a charisma persuasion roll with advantage because you've offered bear claws.
Oh god, I can't see.
It's a 10. You rolled a 10.
You have advantage, so you get to roll the other d20
Oh.
and see what
Okay.
you get, and take the highest of the 2.
5.
You probably want to go with the 10.
It is.
Alright, so that's
Said persuasion?
Persuasion, charisma. Yeah, or
Okay.
charisma,
that's
persuasion.
13 and the plus 2, or
Yeah, because you're also proficient.
okay, so then that's 15.
Is your charisma plus 3?
No. Oh, it's already. It's
Yeah,
already.
it's
done.
already-
The math's
totally
already
okay.
done for you. So +3.
Alright.
13.
All right, yeah. So yeah, you've got 4 pigeons that are like, okay, yeah. You bring us another bear claw tomorrow morning, and we can make this happen.
I would love to bring you guys little treats. Thank you for your help and assistance.
Sure. That window.
Yes. And I'm pointing to the one where Otrovac is.
Okay.
I'm just hoping I know.
One of them flies up there. And it's kind of like, is this the one you mean? All right.
You're doing amazing.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. So you have gone and bribed some local birdery to keep an eye on the dude.
That's,
What about the other 2? What are you guys doing?
I'm going to go to one of the fancy cafes around. What's up?
Actually, as that conversation wraps up, one of those neonates comes over and is like, "Hey, no feeding the birds," and like tries to shoo them all off.
Or do you want to go to fancy cafes?
No, that's fine. Go ahead. I will just kind of hang out by the entrance to the main entrance to the whole whatever this
Be a
is.
snake in the grass.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally, be a snake in the grass.
That's racist. How dare you?
I'm not offended. I'll just shed my skin off and I'll be okay.
All right, so I'm just doing a quick check-in with chat. Please let us know if you can hear everybody well enough. Because again, new setup, I want to be sure that everybody's voice is coming through. So your help with that would be much appreciated. So you're hanging out at the courthouse, building.
Yeah.
You are going to a local dining facility of some sort.
Yes.
Okay.
Ideally, one that we have an idea that these jurors tend to hang out at.
You find one that's just a couple blocks away. It
Mhm.
seems like because of the, proximity, it's
Yeah.
probably a good choice.
Okay, cool.
It's a very high class, kind of low noise level, dark woods, inlaid with, intricately engraved brass and bronze and things like that. And they serve wine, not ale. I'm sorry, we don't serve that here, sir. Type of thing.
Gotcha.
And the food that they serve is all little tiny morsels. It's like haute couture
All right.
dining.
So glad I didn't go there.
Ah, my people.
I was gonna say they're pretentious, just up Stripe's alley. So,
Should
so
give a
yeah.
Poetry reading.
I know. I should give a poetry reading. How did these jurors work? So they're professional jurors. Is there generally a group of jurors that are responsible for economy stuff and ones that are responsible for
Yeah.
crimes and stuff? And do we know what area Ultravox is normally a juror of?
You have not asked.
Great. Okay.
So, but yes, generally speaking, they are divided up into different specialties, and so you might get a case that focuses on embezzling, and so that would mostly be,
Juror
financially inclined jurors, but they might also have some other people with other specialties, depending on the specifics of the case.
Okay.
So,
Actually. And it's not like his plaque or anything, or the section he was in was special.
give me an intelligence check, just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Don't use her dice. That's
How
fine.
dare you touch another person's dice?
That's just rude.
No, I am not smart.
It's not that you're not smart. You just didn't think to look at it when you were in the building.
5?
Did not think to look at it when you were in the building.
Okay.
So, yeah. It looks like this is the kind of place... Wow, it's really raining all of a sudden. It looks like this is the kind of place where they come to do, business lunches
Mhm.
and stuff like that, where they're talking to clients and things like that. There are some private rooms that look like they've been, cordoned off specifically so that they could have, legit
Yeah.
patient...
Private.
attorney-client privilege type conversations. But yeah, it's about half full.
Okay. Cool. Then my
It's
current
really
plan
raining.
Yeah, it's coming down.
is to order some charcuterie.
Okay.
And maybe see if I can get some information from the waitress to start with about if I'm having issues with in my guild, guild HR. I imagine that might fall underneath the guild key kind of stuff. Who maybe around here might be a good person to talk to.
Okay, so you order the charcuterie board, and she kind of gives you a look. She says, "That's going to be 3 gold, sir."
Okay.
Do you have 3
I
gold?
don't know. Charcuterie is
Look at him. He's like,
expensive.
he has
It's an expensive restaurant.
We got that 100 gold before. I'm assuming we split it up. I still have it written down on my thing,
I
but
believe
I'm
That
assuming
sounds
we
alright.
each got 33 pieces.
you have got 3
Oh, you have 100.
Okay.
too? Okay. I don't know if we each had 100 or what.
Did I sell something?
So I'm going to make the rule that you guys have what you've written down, within reason, of
I have
course.
40 silver pieces written down.
I have
So
99 gold, 4 silver, 4 copper.
all right, so if you want to say that you split up the gold, then erase gold from your character sheets in whatever capacity, and we can say that he's got that. But in general, we're going to want to make sure we do this going forward.
Okay.
That's very fair.
So I'm just going to write 33 on mine.
Okay. Great. So we all have 33? Except now
Yep.
I have 30.
So she says that, and you kind of like reach into your pouch and pull out. Although you have an existential moment where you're like, oh my god, I don't think I've ever had that much. Oh wait, no, yeah, dude, what am I talking about? Like, but yeah, you kind of like you show her the money, and she goes, very well. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
I'm having some difficulty with my guild friends, and they want me to do something I don't think I should be. Is there a person around here that I should start looking at to like maybe seek some help?
I don't
I don't
really
know,
do much to do with guild. Are they asking you to do something illegal?
I'm not sure if it's illegal or just unethical.
It's not really my area of
It's fine.
expertise.
I'm so new to this area.
She
I
kinda-
just don't know
she does
who-
kinda like-
even like where to start looking for help in this area.
You know what? I'm gonna use one of these numbers.
Oh, okay.
What is your insight score?
Ha! Good thing I plussed it today. Plus 3. Alright, so it's 3.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as she says, like it's not really my area of expertise, and her eye, like she kind of glances to one side at like a table that's kind of tucked into a corner. It's got 3 people sitting at it. She goes, and I really shouldn't bother our other patrons by giving out their information. So I'm sorry.
Your patrons don't want more clients?
That would be up to them, and we aren't supposed to bother them with business.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I'll bring you your food.
Thanks so much.
And she walks away.
You said I saw about where she looked?
Yeah, she glances off in one direction of in one spot of the restaurant, and there is only one table there.
Okay.
Like the rest are all empty. There's a group of 3 people sitting at that table.
Cool. I'm gonna enjoy my charcuterie and keep an eye on them.
Okay,
Uh,
let's go to you.
So I just want to kind of stay in earshot of people walking in and out, so I
Okay.
can kind of hear what they're saying. But I don't necessarily want to be just like standing there, in case our buddy tries leaving. I
Okay.
want to be able to see him without him seeing me.
That's gonna be kind of difficult. There really aren't any places to hide in the main hallway, and you
Yeah.
stand out pretty.
I'm a giant snake.
Yeah. Also, I imagine that she would have told you her plan to like go have some birds keep an eye on them.
Right.
Yes.
So mostly just listen to people then.
Communicate people.
Yeah.
Just see. You know what? I'll take your approach. I'm just gonna stop somebody and be like, "Excuse me."
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of are standing there, and you get a few people that are kind of like walking by, like looking at you, really curious. And the second you step up, and you're like, "Oh, excuse me." One of them's like, "Yes. How can I help you?" It's a younger elven woman. She's dressed in like kind of scholar's robes. She looks like she's probably like a fairly low-ranking like clerk or something like that.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Uxeth. I'm not from Ravnica,
I imagined as much. Yes.
and I'm really curious how your guys' political system here works. Can you kind of break it down for me on the fly really quick without getting too crazy detailed? Like, how do people get elected?
Oh.
What's the whole thing? How's it all work?
Well, let me just say that Usually, if people have questions of this nature, they enroll in one of the university courses, and over the course of a year, they will get the full explanation, because our political system is labyrinthine, to say the least.
Yeah, I get that. Give me the Cliff Notes version, though. I'm more of a tourist, and I'm not, like, looking to go into politics. I'm just fascinated by the whole aspect of it.
Alright, so... Generally speaking, the way it works is the upper echelons of the Azorius Senate are the ones who appoint the adjudicators, the jurors, the barristers, people of that nature, and they will assign essentially different departments to certain kinds of crimes, and within those departments you have different sort of task forces that handle specific things related to certain guilds or certain kinds of crime and things like that. As far as actual elections, there really aren't any as far as public officials go. It all comes down to which guild who is in charge of a particular guild. They will be responsible for overseeing that guild's responsibilities within the city.
Are the appointees all guild related? Like, do Azorius only appoint Azorius?
Oh, thanks very much, Kellen. I appreciate you letting us know that you can hear everybody. And have a good night. It's kind of a low-key episode this time around. Hope that's okay. Say again.
Oh, the appointees, are they all guild specific? Like, are Azorius only appointed by Azorius, or?
Typically, yes. There is some input that certain guilds can have into appointments. For instance, the Boros Legion often has a great deal of opinion, not necessarily input. The Orzhov Syndicate will often petition for certain people not to be assigned to certain areas that they have an interest in because that person does not agree with the way they do business. But usually it is down to each guild.
And is there anywhere around here I can find a directory that lists what each person does and what, like, department they look over, like, if the juror is assigned to a certain district or whatever, like, is there any kind of a...
You can find the higher level appointments. They tend not to list all of the individuals that are involved just because some of them are doing work that is confidential or particularly sensitive, and so their identities must be kept secret.
Where can I find that at?
You can actually submit a request through the bureaucratic intake department that will take approximately 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna head outside.
Okay.
Do I still see my contact out here anywhere?
No, he left. Remember, he was waiting for someone who showed up right as you guys
Right.
were walking away.
Okay.
Lala, what are you doing? Now that you have set your little bird task force on the case.
I guess I'm just wandering the streets.
Okay. For any particular purpose? Are you looking for something? Are you trying to accomplish anything? Or are you just seeing where things take you?
I'm seeing where things take me right now, I guess. I've talked to Mylosh. He was on my contact list.
Okay.
Should I go meet up with you, or you're hanging out with your restaurant?
Do whatever you like.
I don't really have a purpose.
You could make up one.
Make up one?
Make up a purpose.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be whatever you think your character would be doing right now. It doesn't necessarily have to be directly related.
Mm-hmm.
If you have some other goal that you would like to pursue.
I really do feel like she would just be wandering, trying to eavesdrop on conversation around the courthouse that we just came out of, but
Okay.
don't know how much information I could find.
Give me So if you're just passively listening for stuff, give me a perception. Actually, just give me what your perception... roll perception for me.
Okay. 0.
It's in wisdom.
Thank you.
So it's just 5.
Okay. So
Unfortunate.
there's a lot of conversation going on and everything like that. You don't hear anything.
Mhm.
At least not in this particular round of things. So Strype.
Back to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're okay. Come here. Hi. Hi. There's nowhere to go from that direction, sweetie. I'm sorry.
How good was charcuterie tasty?
The charcuterie is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they've got that, like, really thin prosciutto.
Mm.
They've got some
Stuff is
stinky
bomb.
cheeses.
Oh wow, I can really smell it too.
They've got some dates and whatnot. So, yeah, it's pretty tasty.
That's great. That's great. I'm
Yeah.
glad you did a great job.
It's worth the three gold.
The service was good.
She's a little standoffish with you. She thinks you're a bit weird, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
weird.
like you're paying for your meal, so she's not going to treat you too bad.
Okay.
Don't tip
I
her.
want. Well, I was gonna ask her if I could send them a glass of wine for their party. Those guys over there.
Give me a. Hold on a
I'm
second.
just burning all of my special rolls.
Attach your best poem to it. Make it really awkward.
She says, normally I wouldn't say no, but
So I'm gonna say no.
what, if you would like to buy a glass of wine for other patrons of the restaurant, then I will not stop you.
Great. I would like to.
She's like,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I would like to do that and buy them and just let them know that there's a friend in need over here.
She,
Maybe not that
Alright.
phrasing if you don't
You're
want.
being really weird.
are you buying a glass of wine for each of them?
Yeah.
Which wine would you like? And she produces a wine list.
That one.
The most affordable one.
Are you actually looking at the prices on these?
Let's say. Oh shit. Like. I guess for 3 glasses of wine compared to charcuterie. Like, let's not go over. Oh, that's a lot of gold. Sorry, can I go under 8 gold for all of it?
For all of it? Yeah, there's a half bottle that you could buy for 7 gold.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. So she walks away, and you see her take the wine and the glasses over to the table, but not before you notice her stop and like talk to someone who looks like they might be in charge, and kind of like gesture over in your direction, and then at the table. So yeah.
Oh,
She
talked to the
talks
person
to
in
like the
charge of-
manager,
Oh, the manager.
and then brings the wine over to the other table.
I'm gonna hang out and pull out some poem stuff and start writing because I imagine I'm gonna be harassed soon.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna try and pretend to be a total normal, like just wacky artist.
Okay.
Normal wacky artist. That's a thing.
So then,
Solid play. Solid play.
all right, we'll come back to you, Sophia.
Where else can I go? Are there any other like
How long does
areas?
speak with animals last, by the
So
way?
24 hours. Alright,
Well,
sorry,
look
I
at-
don't know. I'm trying to
Oh,
help.
like my ability to speak with them, I think lasts
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that will have worn off by now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you are, yeah, you're still kind of hanging out.
Yeah. Are there any other popular business places? Does it look like people are going for like a lunch break from the courthouse or something? Like,
So it's a little bit after lunch. So
Mhm.
the closest place to get something to eat would be where Strype is currently.
Mhm.
But there are little stalls that they seem like they're selling like coffee or similar styles of drink,
Mhm.
so that people can just kind of grab them and go.
Yeah. And there's no way of us knowing who. Say his name, Otrovac?
Yeah.
Otrovac, like who his friends are, who he's been talking to, who works with him.
It's unlikely for you to
Yeah.
find that out on the street. If you went back into the building, you might be able to find something.
Okay, and then I guess we'll go back into the building. I'm just trying to find people that might know Otrovac and know if he's been acting strangely or
Okay.
out of character.
All right. You walk back in to the building. As I drop my pen, you walk back into the building, and you overhear actually someone saying, oh, did you see those 3 off-worlders that went up to Otrovac's office? And someone else is like, yeah, I wonder what he's into this time. So,
Okay. I approach the group and try to have a normal conversation.
are you still in the building at this point, or did you leave?
No, I was outside. I went out.
Okay, so you stepped out. All right, so you approach them.
You don't believe in being sneaky, do you?
Well, I don't know, like,
Roll
Should I-
it.
What do you say? They kind of like stop talking as you approach. One of them actually looks like legit, like, holy crap, we were just talking about this woman.
I'm gonna go with, hi, I'm sorry, but I couldn't, help but overhear your conversation, and, I was wondering if, is Otrovac usually in a bit of trouble? Is he known for causing trouble throughout the courthouse, or?
They all kind of like share a glance, and one of them. So you've got another vedalken. This one's a woman, and you've got 2 younger male humans that are kind of like giving you the eyeball. And then they kind of look at her, and they're like, "No, Otrovac actually is usually pretty on the straight and narrow. He's good at his job, but you know, we don't know much about him. We just, we kind of work with him." And if you wanted to, you could give me a roll on insight to see whether or not you know what's up with, like, if you get any kind of sense from them.
Any weird vibes?
Yeah.
Okay, so 20.
Roll the 20.
The Vedalken woman is just being very quiet and kind of standing at the back and letting the 2 young guys talk. So.
I guess I focus my attention to her and be like, what should I say?
Should call her a liar. That worked out well last time.
Yeah. I mean, straight to the point. I want information.
You're
I
such
don't
a
have
good
any nuance.
diplomat.
No, I'm not.
Well, what questions do you want to have answered?
But why are you lying to me?
She technically hasn't lied. She hasn't said anything yet.
Be
But
like,
she's clearly kind of just happy to let them talk.
I ask her, has he seemed to be more secretive and keeping to himself as of late?
She kind of like whispers to the two guys. She's like, "You should get back to work." And they're like, "Oh, yes, ma'am." And they turn and walk off. And she kind of gives you a look like, "I don't know if I can trust you, but why are you interested?"
We have reason to believe his safety might be a threat, and we just want to do our due diligence to make sure that nothing is being missed and, I don't know, peace remains between the guilds.
You think there's some kind of inter-guild subterfuge going on? Don't look at him, look at me.
Let's roll with it.
Yeah. We do believe that there is some mischief going afoot, and people are getting access to guild keys that don't necessarily have the right to this access. And we were just wondering if Otrovac knows anything about this, or is involved in any way, whether he wants to or not.
I don't know anything about guild keys. That's very interesting, but I don't imagine he would be much help to anybody looking for that. Anyways, he doesn't have access to that sort of thing. He kind of stops, and he doesn't have access to that sort of thing.
Is he not allowed access, or he's uninterested?
He was supposed to be up for a promotion not long ago that would have given him access to such a thing. But some strange decisions resulted in him being passed over.
What were those strange decisions?
He was interested in a case that he shouldn't have had anything to do with, and it was just no evidence came forward, so no formal accusations were made, but there was enough concern over his behavior for a brief period of time that it affected his career.
Okay. What was this case? Who were involved?
I don't know the details myself. It was something to do with some Orzov racketeer, some criminal.
Was it just a criminal that acted alone, or was it a group of criminals?
Just, I don't know the details. I'm sure there are some other folks who could probably help you with that, but it's not my area of expertise.
Okay, who are these other people that I should be talking to, if you don't mind?
Otrovac has a few colleagues that would know more about it than I would. She writes their names down. Hands it to you.
I guess I think, or it seems like a lot of good information.
If he is in danger, I would appreciate if you kept him safe.
Yes, we're working. And what's her name? I think we introduced that. My name's Ulala. Here is my information.
Her name is pending. Loading.
Pending loading. Beautiful name.
Loading.
Oh god, there's a kid somewhere named that. You know who it is?
Cavell. Her name is Cavell. So one of the other names she gave you was Nikum. He's a Loxodon.
You have a Luxodon, right?
You do. And an elf named Mihas. Samson, what are you up to? What's Uxeth doing? You stepped outside. Well, you slithered outside.
I'm like in the courtyard area,
Okay.
just I don't know, kind of looking around at people. I guess I'm not going to be too secretive about, like, I'm not trying to be like sneaky or whatever. I don't know, just kind of see what people's reactions are. See if there's anybody paying. I mean, I understand people are going to be looking at me, but anybody paying any like special attention to me.
Okay. Mark off one of your numbers here. Yeah, you actually are sitting outside for just a couple of minutes when you realize that there is a trio of Azorius soldiers that are kind of standing near the building. They're not any of the ones that were previously guarding. They're all still at their posts. This trio of soldiers is kind of hanging out near the entrance of the building, and they're trying to act casual, but they're clearly keeping an eye on you.
Okay. So we're here, right?
Yeah, in New Prov. Yep.
Are there any trees and stuff around?
Not really. It's all like marble buildings and soapstone buildings and stuff like that. Like, it's lots of stone. Lots of very expensive, very pretty, very pretentious stone.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of start like moseying very slowly and very deliberately, kind of like walking a certain direction to see if I can get them to follow me. I want to get them.
How does a snake man mosey? I just have to ask that question.
I don't know.
It's like they're always moseying.
Are they always moseying?
Yeah, it's all in the arm movement.
Elbows out,
Yep.
jauntily slithering down the road. All right.
I want to try and get them to kind of isolate them away from other guards. if I can.
Okay. So yeah, you head down kind of like a more narrow kind of side street alleyway, and yeah, they follow you. They're at a distance, like they're probably half a block away, easy. But you can definitely see that they're still following you.
Okay. Do any of the buildings have a ledge that I could probably get to easily?
Some of them have like a second story, kind of like those really narrow balconies.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them have something like that.
Okay, so if I can get to a building that has like a balcony on the opposite side from where they're at,
Okay.
like turn the corner and I want to get on the balcony and wait for them. Like kind of just dart around the corner and hide by climbing up.
So when you get to the end of the building, you're looking for one of those balconies, like on
Yeah.
the corner side of the building. Okay. Sure. Yeah, you're able to find something like that.
Okay, and then I'll just wait for them to show up.
Give me an athletics check to try to climb it.
Alright. Nope. Yep. Oh no, I do have proficiency in that.
You do.
So 10.
10? All right. Are you trying to do this sneakily?
No.
Oh, okay. So several people like watch you, like as you climb up, and one of the people, like as soon as you get up there, they turn and they kind of look around and they go, "Guards!"
Okay, that's fine. I'm still gonna wait for them.
Okay.
Hopefully they're motioning the same guards.
They look down the way you just came. So yeah, it looks like they probably are.
Okay. I'm just gonna say thank you. And wait.
They kind of
Trying to be a
Okay.
cat in a tree.
Huh?
I feel like you're now a cat stuck in a tree, waiting for the fireman to show up.
So yeah, a few seconds later, the guards are kind of like they come jogging around the corner, looking up. A couple of them have spears. You there? What are you doing there?
Took you guys so long.
Come down from there.
You guys are doing a horrible job of following me.
Get down from there.
Come get me down.
They kind of like whisper to each other for a second, and one of them runs off.
Okay, that's fine. So, who sent you guys to follow me?
We were given orders to follow a suspicious-looking person. My captain gave the orders.
I feel like I'm being singled out here. I mean, I'm the only one of my kind here. Clearly you're picking on my race.
I wouldn't have any idea about that. All I know is that I was told to keep an eye on you. And here you are breaking the law.
On me specifically?
I specifically identified as the person of interest, yes.
Okay. You said your captain told you.
That's where the order came from. Get down from there.
I actually do want to see where this goes. I'm going to climb down.
Alright, they kind of keep their spears leveled at you. One of them, kind of puts his spear, right pointed at your chest, and the other one kind of comes forward and goes to reach for your weapon.
I'm not letting him do that.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm just going to knock his hand away.
They both, step back and they've got their spears leveled at you.
Okay.
Disarm yourself.
I don't think they come off.
Haha, I've never heard that joke from a Rakdos ruffian before.
Rakdos?
Drop your weapon.
How dare you, sir? I'm so offended.
It's not my fault your sense of humor is on their level.
Well, that's true. I mean, can't fault them for their sense of humor. It's kind of beautiful.
Drop your weapon.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
So then we'll wait here until we have backup, and then we will take your weapon.
I don't know if I want to murder these.
Go loud!
You know, I have in notes about Otrovac that we're trying to be discreet, but it's okay. It's okay. Just
I have to
murder a
spend
couple guards.
2 for level 2, right?
Correct, yes.
Murder a couple guards today with black mana. It's okay.
I'm going to crown of madness one of them.
He's just flexing.
Okay, this went a different direction than I was expecting. That's a saving throw on their part, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me...
Wisdom saving throw. Yep.
We're all very good at being discreet.
Oh yeah, you guys are fantastic at this.
Well, I mean,
I
the
guess-
way we look, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no discretion to be had.
Yeah, I guess maybe they picked the wrong people for discretion.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the sneakiest looking person.
I'm trying to do that.
Trying to get your people liquored up and then talk to them.
I was trying to flirt with the nice ladies over there. I don't know the ladies, but you know.
Actually, I don't even think they're in there, sadly. Is it a wisdom, charisma,
Wisdom.
wisdom? Alright. DC what?
13.
Okay.
Or did that go up when we leveled up?
It does not go up when you
Okay.
level up. Okay, what does Crowns of Madness do?
A crown appears over the subject's head, and they're basically kind of under my control. So, like, if I don't do anything with them, like direct them, I guess they attack a target.
Okay.
But if I do direct them, then they do what I command them to do or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let him attack his buddy.
Do they attack any target?
Yeah.
Or a target of your choice?
Charm for the duration. While the target is charmed this way to his crown. Charm target must use its action before moving on to of each of its turn to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. So I mentally choose his buddy.
Okay. Alright.
You could just let him take your weapon at this point.
Well, I could just walk away now and get it.
Jesus. Okay.
Is that a good Jesus or a bad Jesus?
Okay. So,
If you have to build me up, I'm good for the goal.
alright, so is there any visible manifestation of this crown? Like-
Yeah, there's a crown above the guy's head.
Okay. So you do something, the crown appears, and the guy turns and like stabs the guy, his friend, in the thigh with his spear. And the guy like cries out, he's like, ah, and kind of stumbles back. Like he's only got one hand on his spear, the other hand is clutching his leg.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Somebody get guards. These guys are fighting.
I'm gonna need a deception roll for that. Actually, yeah, go ahead and give me a deception roll.
Oh no.
Oh,
but I do have...
Do you have advantage?
I don't have advantage. Damn it.
Your inspiration, I mean.
No,
I don't
got a
think you do.
proficiency in it, but doesn't matter.
Alright, so yeah, you kind of start yelling like, oh my god, what's going on here? Someone stop these crazy guards! And everybody kind of looks at you like, ah! They all run away.
Okay, well, I'm just going to keep letting him fight, and I'm going to just kind of walk off like nothing happened.
Okay.
Try again tomorrow.
So the other guard is going to, he's going to yell at you, hey, where are you going? Stop there!
I'm going to go get help. I'll be right back, buddy.
Are you having the other guard attack him again?
Yeah. Yeah, he's full on engaged.
He's gonna actually have. You know what? That guy's actually he's like he kind of yells at you, and then he's gonna try to defend himself against the other guard. He's gonna take the dodge action. So gonna give disadvantage. Oh my god. All right. Well. The other guard. So this guy tries to like juke out of the way of the spear, and the guard that you have ensorcelled just pulls his spear over his head, stabs downward, gets the guy right in the gut, like drives him to the ground. The guy coughs up blood. So
This is horrible. This is so horrible. I'm glad I'm not watching any of this.
I'm totally responsible. I'm just glad I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
Okay.
I'm out here. And as soon as I get kind of out of line of sight...
How long does that last?
So I would need to, on my next turn, re-spend the mana on it. Or snap.
Wait, what?
I think that's what it says.
So it's concentration up to a minute. Oh no, use your action to maintain control or the spell ends. Actually, it does get a wisdom save to break out. Nope, that is a cocked d20. Yeah, nope, that didn't work. So that everything happened exactly as I described. So when it says you use your action, you don't have to cast the spell again.
Right.
You just keep it going by saying instead of attacking or casting any other
Okay,
spells,
right.
I'm gonna
Cool.
do that. So yeah, he and then you tell him to what? Just stand there.
Yeah. I mean, and then once I'm gone, I don't care what happens if he snaps out of it or...
Okay. Yeah, he's standing there for at least the next 4 turns. So you basically, you spent 4 turns walking away. 2 turns he spent stabbing the other guy, and then 2 turns he spent standing there. Since your movement is 30 feet, you get 120 feet away, so you're able to get to like the end of the block and turn the corner. And
Okay.
so you're out of line of sight at this point.
And now I'm probably going to make a certain effort on getting the hell out of here. And I'll see you guys later.
I don't know this man.
Are you going
I've
to try to
never met
like
him.
sneak?
No,
Like, are you gonna try
I
to
don't want to be like obvious that I'm like full scale running.
Well,
but
that's
I
what
just
that's what stealth is for.
Right. Well, I have horrible stealth though, and I'm a snake. So
I mean, the thing is, if a crowd of people saw a giant snake man getting into an altercation with guards, and a giant snake man is like kind of nonchalantly wandering down the street, they're gonna put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it's like face tattoos.
that's not how it works. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna get. I need to get the hell out of there as soon as possible. So
What's your stealth bonus?
I don't have one. So Dex +1.
Okay. Cool.
I don't need to roll. I'm good.
Nope. I'm
Okay.
using one of the d20 rolls from previously.
All right.
Who are you fighting on your turn?
We are going to cut back over to the 2 of you. Strype, what are you doing?
they didn't go
I'm
hard.
writing some excellent poetry. Just chilling out, hoping the wine.
Give me a perform roll to see if it's excellent poetry or not. Damn it. Every single time I ask you for a perform check for your poetry, you roll high.
I mean,
19.
Alright, you are writing some darn good poetry. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling this one. Okay, yeah, I like this.
So yeah, I'm just hanging.
The manager guy, he's a kind of burly looking human dude, comes over and he's very, very well tailored outfit, but it does not hide the fact that he looks like he's pretty tough. He comes and says, "Sir, how are you today?"
Doing great. I've been inspired by my muse yet again.
I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying your experience here. Will you be staying for long?
Define long? What is time, really? Long, the earth, the Ravnica is ancient, millennia years old. Long? What do you mean by long?
Long from the perspective of a human lifespan, which, depending on the kinds of people
Years?
you're
Are you saying
dealing
it's
with,
be here for years?
no. Depending on the kind of person you're dealing with in the service industry, long can be 5 minutes.
Oh. Yes, I do intend on being here for longer than 5 minutes.
I see. Very well. I would like to ask that you not disturb any of our other patrons.
I've just been in my booth, eating your tasty food and writing wonderful poetry. I don't see how I've disturbed anyone.
I'm simply making you aware of our policy, sir. It's a request.
I'd be more than happy to continue doing what I've been doing.
Very well, thank you.
No problem.
He walks away.
Great.
What else are you doing?
I guess my main plan is wait until they get up to leave and then harass them outside. Not harass them. But,
Okay.
You know.
About 30 minutes later, they all stand up and shake hands. One of them, gets their stuff together, goes to leave. The other 2 sit back down.
The guy living in charge sat back down.
No. The people at the table that you were keeping an eye on, there were 3 people at that table.
Right.
2 of them stood up, or they all stood up, shook hands.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is getting ready to leave. The other 2 sat back down to continue with their meal.
All right. I'll just go. Wait. I'll basically follow the guy that's getting up to leave. Follow him out the door.
Okay.
Like stay a couple steps behind him. Wait till he actually is outside, and then be like, hey, enjoy the wine. I need a favor.
So as he kind of walks past you and you go to get up, the manager suddenly shows up next to you and says, I just wanted to make sure that everything was to your satisfaction, sir.
Everything was excellent. Thank you so much.
I'm very glad to hear that. Can you give us some feedback on the charcuterie board? Was there anything in particular that you would like to see added, perhaps? The chef was considering doing some cherries in place of the dates, but you seem a discerning gentleman, so what's your opinion on that?
You know what? I would be more than happy to write a review on this place if you would leave me be, and I'm sure at all the different places that I perform my poetry at, I'll tell them how great your place is.
I see. There is still, of course, the matter of paying your bill, sir.
I'm pretty sure I already paid my bill.
I don't believe so. Please wait here for just a moment while I go and get this cleared up.
Oh, I assumed I paid up front on all this stuff.
That's fine. Like, we'll say that you did. He
Oh.
still says, I need to go get this cleared up if you wouldn't mind waiting a moment.
I'm just gonna walk out. I'm not gonna.
Alright.
I already paid. I'm not
Okay.
hanging out. I've got stuff to do.
He actually looks like he moves to like kind of try to stop you or something, but he kind of like glares at you as you leave.
I'm a wolf. I'll glare back
Okay.
and snarl a little bit for good measure.
All right.
I'm assuming he's trying to stop me from catching up to the dude.
You can only assume.
All right, so I got outside. Hopefully.
Yep.
Do I still see the dude?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna go up to him and approach him.
Okay.
Try and be friendly and nice about it. Be like, how's it going? I'm sorry if I disturbed you at the restaurant, but I need some help. And
Says,
I was
I
hoping you might at
I
least
don't
point me in the right
even
direction.
know who you. I'm sorry, I spoke over you. I don't even know who you are. Why? How could you have disturbed me? When? Where? Back there?
Back there.
Oh no, I didn't even realize you were there.
Oh, that's perfect. Those guys are so rude. They told me that I was a big nuisance to you.
Did you buy the wine?
I did. I hope you liked it.
Oh, I did. Yes, thank you
that's
very
great.
much. Did you intend it for one of the other two? I
I
don't think
for
we've
all
met.
eyes. Sorry, what?
I don't think we've met.
No, my name is Strype.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
That's nice. Pleasure's all mine. Honestly, I'm just in some trouble with my guild, and I.
Oh,
kinda-
Toshin, by the way. My name is Toshin.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yeah. So, I apologize, but I am in a bit of a hurry. Perhaps
I
we
can walk and talk, or
Uh,
I need.
sure,
I only need
yes,
like
of course,
12 minutes.
please.
I'm just looking for some.
yes,
directions
it's
right
just
now.
down the road, so.
Yeah. I'm just in trouble with some like HR stuff, and I got a hint that you might know someone in that direction. I was,
stuff.
like my guild, so I'm getting some little tiff with some people
Oh,
there.
I see.
And
Are you looking to leave your guild service? This has been more and more common these days.
Oh,
It
yeah?
seems.
Interesting. Yeah, something along those lines. I'm not sure if that's the best plan for me, and I thought either get some advice on that front or.
Well, the
maybe
question,
even-
of course, is which guild do you belong to? Because the Orzov have very intricate laws, rules, and policies regarding this sort of thing. Whereas the Gruul and such,
They're pretty straightforward about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm mostly entangled with the Gilgari right now, but
that is interesting. The Golgari are, Why don't you explain the specifics, and I can perhaps be more help that way?
okay. This might not be the best conversation out in public. There's some sensitive information.
I suppose that's fair. All right. Now, keep in mind, I'm not an adjudicator. I cannot give you any sort of legal privilege to secrecy.
That's understandable.
Oh,
I was
well, then-
mostly I was just hoping for you could point me. I don't know even if this is your area specialty. Or
But it is, in
Oh,
fact, yes.
that's
Yeah,
great.
it's a variation on contract law. It's very interesting, actually. It's sort of a derivation of the Guild Pact from back in the day, where certain guilds had certain membership requirements, and there were verbal contracts. But then other guilds decided to, guilds such as the Azorius Senate and the Boros, and you've got the Orzov, of course. They instituted more complex contracts that required you to actually sign them, and they had terms of service, and in very many cases they had actual tenures built into the contracts, and those have evolved over time and become something very. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. I'm so sorry. This is actually where my stop.
That's fine. I guess I could.
He basically just talked complete nonsense to you. Not nonsense, but like just so boring and like procedural.
Can I just meet you at your office like tomorrow, or you have appointment or something I could make?
Tomorrow should be fine, as long as it's early in the morning, but not too early in the morning, because I do have some pre-work to do. Probably 5 o'clock in the morning?
I can make it.
Perfect. In that case, I will see you then.
Great. Where is your office? Or
Oh.
are we there?
No. This is a different building. He says, it's the main compound building. He actually describes the same building you were in earlier today. He says, 4th floor, building, office 17.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yes.
I know a great donut place. Do you like bear claws?
I don't know anyone who doesn't like bear claws.
Perfect.
Well, excellent. In that case, I look forward to seeing you.
Great. Nice to meet you. I was Strype, and you were
Tashin.
Tashin. Thank
Yes.
you. I'm so terrible with names.
That's quite all right.
Tashin.
And he waves and walks into the building.
Cool. Great.
Sophia, what is Lala doing at this point?
I don't know. I got those names. Nikun and Mihaz. Can I assume they're also...
And notably, you didn't kill anybody to do it.
I didn't even get any information though. I was completely ineffective.
You spent 2 mana.
Yes, I did.
Was he close enough for me to just hear, like, screaming in the background?
No, because you were back in the building, remember?
Right.
So,
Alright,
poor guard.
It
He had
was
his wife
horrible
and
what
children.
His,
Like,
horrible what his buddy been doing.
That play's gonna live with some serious therapy.
I like to think that spell just
oh my god.
pulls out the embedded anger that somebody has for somebody else. It's not really me, it's them.
Okay, so Nikum and Mihas, they're somewhere in the courthouse.
mm-hmm.
Should probably figure out where.
Oh, she would have given you their location as well.
Okay.
So,
Um,
also 4th floor.
That's a very popular floor.
They all work in the same department. That's what you were looking for, isn't it?
Yes, this is exactly. Fair enough.
I don't know if I should talk to them alone or with everyone.
You can always try talking to one of them alone. If it doesn't go well, then you can meet back up with everyone to talk to the other guy.
Okay. I guess I'll go talk to the elf Mihas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I head up to the 4th floor. I assume they're in their office?
Yes.
Okay. Is the door slightly open or anything? Or are there any...
The door is open.
Okay. Are there any voices coming from the office?
Nope.
No? Alright, I guess I just approach the door and I do a slight little knock and...
Okay. You walk in and there is a small, or you walk up to the door and you look through, and sitting at the desk there is a small, hunched over, warty, like bat-winged little creature sitting on, like, perched on the edge of the desk, and is like dipping its claw in the inkwell, and
It's a living.
pretty much, yeah,
Very Flintstone.
Okay.
it's a homunculus.
Yeah, but Mihas is in his office? He's sitting there? Or it's
That's
just-
all you see from this perspective.
Okay. Can I interact with the...
You can try.
Yeah. I guess I do a little wave to the creature.
It does not look up at you.
Okay. I say, excuse me.
Busy.
Oh.
It kind of looks up and says busy and goes back to what it's doing.
Okay. Do you happen to know where Mihas is?
Mihas on break. Mihas on break 2 hours.
Oh, he's been on break for 2 hours?
Yes, Mihas make me do all scribing.
Do you happen to know where Mihas went?
No, he should be back soon.
All right.
Mihas is taskmaster. I hate Mihas. He continues, like, writing it out as he's...
Yeah, I just slowly back away out of the office and let the thing just scribble away. Alright, guess I'll go see if I can talk to Mikum. I don't know if I can track down Mihas through the halls.
I mean, you could always ask, like, oh, I'm looking for Mihas, and see if anybody knows.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the hallway right now, or?
Yeah, there are a few people passing by.
Okay. I guess I introduce myself to one of the passerbyers. Like, hi, my name is Ulala. Have you seen Mihas?
Oh, not in his office, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Left things to Grish? Yeah, that's Mihas for you. I haven't seen him lately, but if I know anything, he's probably at one of the coffee stands outside, flirting with the young lady out there.
Ah, all right. Okay, so I head to the coffee stand.
Okay.
Do I see an elf flirting with someone?
You see an elf kind of like leaning against the coffee stand, kind of wistfully looking at the young lady who's like serving drinks to people.
Mm-hmm.
You successfully managed to make it out of the second precinct.
Sweet.
Without anybody finding you. So far as you can tell.
Yeah.
I guess I go up to the coffee girl and order 2 coffees and hand one to Mihas.
He kind of looks surprised. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It's like, well, didn't see you had a drink in your hand, and you've been standing here an awfully long time, so thought you could use a drink.
It's like he gets super red and kind of is like, thank you. If you'll excuse me, I have to go now. And he turns and kind of like
Yeah.
walks quickly away from the stall. The young lady behind the stall kind of gives you a look like, thank you. She's like, the coffee's on the house.
And I'm just like, wait, but I do have some questions for you.
He kind of like slows down. He's like, oh, for me?
Mhm.
What can I do for you?
My name is Ulala, and
It's a very lyrical name.
thank you.
You're welcome. It's very unique.
He's flirting with you.
Oh no, bad situation.
Abort!
Yeah. So I spoke to Kavid, the vedalken.
Lady person.
You need me to look at the name
Yeah.
again? You wrote it down.
I can't read my handwriting, and it was a
Corinne?
guesstimate of the spelling. It looks like Kavid.
I spoke to a very nice vedalken lady who had nothing but good things to say about.
Cavell.
Yeah. Caval.
It's like, oh, Cavell. Yes, I know Cavell.
And we were discussing some unusual cases, and Otrovac's name was brought up, and
It's like, oh, Otrovac. I see. Interesting. Yes.
it seems like there was a case that really affected his ranks in the courthouse, and
Yes. Case in the courthouse. Yes. He's like looking at the lady at the coffee stand again, kind of like standing there. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Yes. Otrovac, you said.
yes, and Cavell said you were one of the people that might have some more information regarding this case, because it sounds pretty fascinating that such a trivial sounding case had such an effect on Otrovac.
It's like, oh, yes. Well, it wasn't trivial per se. It was strange that he was so interested, though. That's not really his area of expertise. It's technically, well, not the boring details, but yes, he was quite interested in it. He was asking a lot of deep questions about it over the course of several weeks.
What are his usual cases, and what made this one so interesting?
Well, the case fell apart. Evidence just disappeared, vanished, out of thin air. Oof. The suspect was let go, found murdered in an alleyway not long after.
Oh, that is quite unique. Who was the suspect?
Some Orzhov racketeer. I forget his name. Some lowlife. The kind of person that the Orzhov prefer to distance themselves from because he's so bottom of the barrel, if you will. But he was effective and successful in his own right until, of course, he came under investigation and was arrested and murdered.
What was the suspect accused of?
Oh, it was rather, well, I shouldn't say clever. It was fairly brutish on the surface, but it was a racketeering arrangement. He hired some Rakdos troop to go through different neighborhoods in I think it was precincts 4 and 6, if I remember, and it doesn't matter. But anyways, he hired this Rakdos troop of performers that would go in and they would do their little circus acts. And if they didn't pay this man money to keep their businesses and their homes safe, tragic accidents would occur, and their businesses would go up in flames, and it would be a whole mess. And so it was a fairly standard protection racketeer, but it was interesting in that it was cross-guild endeavors. Usually those kinds of things, especially from the Orzhov perspective, are kept very, very hush-hush. The connections there are usually tenuous at best, and they don't tend to get prosecuted much. But they would have had an excellent case against the Rakdos had this Orzhov individual not been horribly, brutally murdered in an alleyway. Yes.
I have some questions on
Actually, that's why Otrovac. That's Otrovac originally was saying he was interested in the whole case, is because he deals in inter-guild litigation and things of that nature. So.
Okay, so that's why you took the special interest in it?
Yes. Although folks thought it was very, very strange because it really had nothing to do with him. He wasn't assigned to it in any way. It was a rather unhealthy obsession, I will say.
Okay, and his obsession and obsessive behaviors was the reason that he was passed over for the promotion, or?
Oh, the promotion. Don't mention the promotion to him. He takes it very hard. I don't know that was the reason. He was a very solid performer, very good at his job, but who knows? I couldn't speculate. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Alright. Was there anything else unusual with the case besides it being inter-guild and Otrovac's obsession?
That's... He did mention something. It struck me as odd at the time, but again, the case had blown over by then. He'd asked me about the piece of evidence that had gone missing, and he mentioned, this is not common knowledge, but he mentioned that, I'll tell you what, I've given you some information already. If you want me to say anything else, things that could get me in trouble, I will mention, you'll put in a word for me with that lovely little lady there.
Oh, but of course. Alright, so, I look at him, and I look at her, and,
You guys are like across the street and down a little ways at this point.
what are some of her qualities that you, I don't know, find attractive? Maybe I can...
Her smile, her hair, her skin, her eyes, the curve of her ears.
So just everything.
She's a vision, what can I say?
Alright.
And she seems so straightforward. Very little guile or subterfuge. She lives such a simple life, one that I envy, as mine is very complex and predicated on so many rules, and I must know so many things, and I'm such a brilliant man that it is difficult to find someone who is similarly minded. And so I am particularly attracted to women who perhaps do not have as much to offer in that regard.
So you like simple women?
Yes, I suppose that you could say that, yes.
Alright, I'll go see what I can do. I'll go put in a good word for you.
Oh, excellent, thank you.
Yeah, excuse me. It's when I walk across the street and
Okay, sorry. I was trying. What-
So you are heading in this direction, and you are almost there as this is happening.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Please go ahead. Approach the stall.
do I see him?
No, not giving you an out. Just it's that easy.
Yeah, no, I wanted to take him for his poetry.
Cashier says cakes are almost always interesting. That's true. That was in reference to your question about his most interesting cases previously when you said cakes.
Oh.
I like cake.
Me too.
So,
Okay.
yeah, she looks at you and says, "Oh, I hope the coffee was well."
Oh, the coffee is delicious. My friend Mijas, he thinks you brew the most wonderful and excellent coffee.
Thank you. She kind of leans in and says, "Really?"
Oh yeah, he finds it delightful. He finds you even more delightful.
He comes out here and orders the same thing every day. He hangs around for like 30 minutes.
Does this bother you?
He's kind of pompous.
No.
He's boring. But he insists on telling me about his day-to-day. Like, every day. He has to tell me about everything that happened to him from when he got into the office to when he came to see me.
Well, he finds you very fetching and beautiful and interesting, and I really do think you guys do have a lot in common together. If maybe he could take you out away from this coffee stand, and maybe you guys will be able to hit it off.
I like my job. The hours are good, the pay is reasonable, and I pick up on a lot of legal knowledge. It's very helpful.
Maybe if you went out with Mijas, you'd get even more legal knowledge.
Did you say illegal knowledge?
Legal knowledge.
More legal knowledge.
And illegal knowledge. I'm sure he knows quite a bit.
Go and give me a persuasion roll.
Oh god.
That was a d12, so we won't count that. Here you go. 17.
Oh, okay. You did it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so 20.
She kind of like... Tell him if he wants to ask me out on a date, he has to do it, but that I will give him a chance.
Alright, thank you so
Matchmaker, you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I'm sure he will be thrilled. Thank you.
Oh, yay.
I
She
just
kinda-
give her like a just hang it, buddy. And then I just walk away. I go back to Mijas and let her know the good news.
It's like, what did she say? What did she say?
She has agreed to go on a date with you, but you need to ask her out yourself.
Oh. Where should I take her? What does a woman of her simple means enjoy?
Look what you did.
What's the eatery you went to?
The one I just went to?
Mm-hmm.
The one that where it costs $3 or 3 gold per charcuterie.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like simple means.
I don't know. She might like something fancy. I just want information at this point. Perhaps you could take her to a nice play and a nice drink afterwards, or just go out to a nice drink of wine.
Yes. I've been told that the lower classes do enjoy their entertainment. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Yes, thank you.
See, this guy would crown him madness, and I wouldn't even feel that.
This guy deserves a murdering. All right, so.
So I have provided you with a date. Now,
Oh yes. Well, so interesting thing is that the piece of evidence that went missing was a mask that this Orzov racketeer liked to wear when he was out and about pursuing business. It was part of his alias, I suppose, and the mask went missing, and that was not widely known knowledge. Otrovac one day came and asked, said, I was wondering if anybody had found, I forget the ruffian's name again, but if his mask had been found, and it was strange that he knew that particular detail. So, it caused me to think perhaps he knew more than he was letting on, but again, it was a case that had grown cold, and the case fell apart months prior to that, so it is what it is.
besides Nakum, was anyone else involved with the case, or anyone else that might know more?
Nakum wasn't really involved in the case. He and Otrovac are, closer colleagues than many of the others, but I can't think of anybody else who would. No one who's at liberty to speak on the case, that is.
Alright. Who are the people not at liberty to speak with the case? Just so.
I would have to get that together. The list of people on the task force was fairly extensive. I don't remember them all off the top of my head.
Okay. Could I stop by your office tomorrow and obtain this list, or?
Says yes. Grish will provide you with that information.
Okay.
You're gonna be Grish's friend now.
Alright, well,
I should probably be getting back to the office. Grish tends to act up if I'm gone too long. Lovely little assistant, I must say. Very diligent in his work.
he's very, very cute.
Anyways, if you'll excuse me.
Alright.
Good job.
So the two of you meet back up on the streets. You are well on your way back home, having just been responsible for a grisly murder.
I didn't even arm myself. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
Do either of us hear rumors of a giant snake person murdering people?
Yeah, actually,
Probably.
there's some rumor that a giant, 20-foot tall snake appeared in the middle of the street and attacked a couple of guards.
I heard he was 30 feet tall. And he breathed fire.
Snake of Eden, right? And the snake in a tree came down, convinced some people to do things that weren't good for themselves.
Yep.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, very biblical.
He had glowy eyes and he flew.
Very handsome too.
So, you do hear like a couple of people saying, I heard that the snake man actually had some companions that looked very strange. Maybe the guards should start looking for them.
Sorry,
And we go home.
Peace.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. I think that's actually kind of perfect timing. It's 3:23. I know you guys have a Game of Thrones thing to get to later.
Hell
Yep. So
Up in
excited.
Orange County.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a drive, so make sure you're safe about it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to those of you who tuned in. Sorry for the little bit of a rough start there. We will be streamlining things a little bit for next time, so hopefully we're able to get to a faster kickoff.
Mhm.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody has any thoughts.
I didn't do anything. You saw it.
You got to do combat.
I didn't do anything. I was just a witness. It was horrible.
The excellent poetry continues.
Yes, your streak of quality poetry is unbroken.
I'm now adding matchmaker onto therapist, so if you have any therapy or matchmaking needs, just look up Ulala.
Ulala's therapy and matchmaking services.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much for attending today.
Thank you for having us.
We will resolve the whole thing with the spells between this session and the next session, so it's all taken care of. And then next session's a much higher likelihood that you guys are going to get into a fight, since someone decided to attract the attention of the guards.
I can't believe you guys.
What?
Just
Can't
looking
take you
at-
anywhere.
Couldn't help myself this time. I just,
You're harassing people with wine.
you know, how rude of me.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be the most conspicuous one at that point. And this guy.
Honestly, did not go out, I thought, at all. But
It's a crowded street. You just climbed up into some stranger's balcony, and you're a monster as far as they're concerned. You're just lucky the person wasn't home.
super offended by that. Just trying to live my life.
No regrets.
Nope.
All right.
Alright.
All right, folks. Have a good one. We're going to sign off now, and we will see you on Monday for another Ravensdale Geeks Out and a Ravensdale Writes Comics. Don't forget that we actually have a live stream coming up on Thursday that is going to be a special fundraiser for World Schizophrenia Day, where I will be doing a blind playthrough of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, and a good friend of ours will be doing an AMA on schizophrenia. He was recently diagnosed with the condition, so he knows a lot about like the symptoms and treatments and things like that. And we're trying to just raise some awareness, raise a little bit of money for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. So I hope you'll check us out. It'll be Thursday night, 6 p.m. to midnight. So, yeah. You guys, anything you want to promote that you're going to be doing soon or being a part of?
No,
No.
Any conventions you're coming
Oh,
up?
we're gonna be at Anime Expo
that's a long way
in
away.
July, and that's
Okay.
basically our plans.
Sounds good. In that case, peace out, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah.
Where is...